Right, 29 November 2023, and today I'm going to give you a very, very important update regarding the news that is taking place in Zimbabwe as usual. And today we've got a very, very hard hitting report from the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. And I apologize for the dark, severe load shedding here. And the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission is a government body. So normally they would not issue reports like this. But I like the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission because in the past they've also issued reports that are very, very hard hitting. You remember when there was the first August shooting, they issued a report that was very clear and that put the blame on the government, on the Zimbabwe military, and also on the reaction by President Mnangagwa to those shootings. And there I want to go into the report that they issued yesterday. I'm going to eventually load it into our website, and it aligns with the SADC report. So everything that is in the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission aligns with the SADC report, in that they're saying there was massive rigging of this election by Mnangagwa. And I want to start by showing you something which is obviously an attack on General Chiwenga, which has been going around. I told you that there's massive factionalism. And you see this picture. This picture has been circulating with the General Chiwenga sleeping in the one that they're sharing online. But in the Herald, they put this one where he's standing and where he is sitting. So certainly someone is being mischievous in the president's office who took those pictures. They took him sleeping and they circulated that picture. So the factionalism is continuing. But anyway, let's continue to what I was saying about the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. They've issued a hard-hitting report, and this report has got about 20 witnesses in the election. And this is more ammunition for Nelson Chamisa. He needs to use these reports. Chamisa needs to find a proper advisor on how to proceed, because these reports, they can be used in the court of law, they can be used in the international community, they can be used anyway for him to go against ED and to also eventually get them into a power sharing agreement. The dialogue that is seeking is getting more and more support from the reports that we're seeing now. So the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission is a statutory body, and what they say is that the biggest problem with this facility was that there was violation of human rights by far. There was violation of human rights by chiefs, and there was violation of human rights through violence, which occurred before, during, and after the election. Obviously, their language is going to be a bit more muted because they somehow report to Mnangagwa. So let's now continue. I want to run through the quick things that they said here before I run to my morning gym session. My son says I need to reduce my midsection, so that is what I'm doing. So let's look at the 20 issues that are raised here. Intimidation of voters by Forever Associates. They say Forever Associates or FAS set up exit polling stations where they recorded people's names, and this intimidated people. People were forced to attend rallies by FAS, during which they were threatened. And then there was vote buying by ZANU-PF through food and seeds. Villagers were evicted from resettlement areas. They were threatened that if they didn't vote for ZANU-PF, they'll be evicted from their land. CCC rallies were banned. There was unbalanced coverage of CCC by the public media. Remember, we social media, we don't have to cover ZANU-PF. But by law, ZANU-PF must, ZBC, sorry, and Herald and all those people, they must cover CC. It's a law. And ZEC must make sure that this happens. So this didn't happen. During the elections, There were fake posters which say CCC was saying people must not vote. Then there were traditional leaders in areas like Mtoko who denied people voter registration, voter education. So they denied people voter education. Then there was the issue of steep nomination fees, which prevented some candidates from contesting. The voters' roll was not made available. Some churches were forced people to vote for ZANU-PF, and there was night voting under candlelight. Polling stations opened late. The ballot paper colors were confusing to the voter, which made other people put their ballots in the wrong box. So it ended up being a spoiled vote. There was a large number of assisted voters. There were mixed up ballot papers or boxes. So the Epworth ballot box, for example, ended up in Zangeza West. Some polling stations did not post V11 in the polling stations, and the ZHRC did not disband the FAS station. So the FAS people were sitting right there, recording them, and the police were also standing there, and they did not disband those FAS stations. FAS conducted exit stations, exit polls, where they wrote people's names, and this is clearly illegal. Then 39 CSO members were arrested. The incident of post-election violence against CCC, for example, the winning MP for Goromons was attacked, and his house was attacked, was destroyed twice. ZANU-PF and chiefs set up meetings to identify who had voted for CCC or Chamisa. Right, so this is almost 20 things that went wrong with this election. And then what went well? And I want to pick up on this one point that went well, which is the multi-party liaison committee, where the parties spoke and discussed the issue of violence. So just in case you think I'm making this up, let me show you this report. It's very difficult to find because they've hidden it on their page. But anyway, I know how to search, and I found it. So I'm going to share this on our paper, on our website, where we'll eventually manage to resolve one or two things. And then I want to go through the recommendations. There are multiple recommendations here. You can see this, and as I said, I'll eventually upload this after I do my gym. They give recommendation to ZEC to strengthen the administration and logistical aspects of election management. This includes supplying enough ballots and other materials on time and providing adequate lighting, as well as selecting accessible venues and stations. To release timers with the voters' roll in a readable and analyzable manner. To proactively communicate any development affecting the election process so as to allay concerns of the electorate, political parties, and other stakeholders. To improve color distinction of ballot papers and signage of polling stations. To adequately educate voters on the changes brought about by the delimitation process. To effectively attend to the welfare of polling officers. These guys were at the polling stations and they do not have a toilet for ladies and for men. To enforce, then the ZHRC, to enforce the electoral code of conduct for political parties, candidates, and other stakeholders, and to deal with electoral malpractice. To enforce the electoral laws in terms of the Constitution, and to desist from selective application of the law, to decentralize and speed up the investigation of all cases of politically motivated violence. Then political parties, to refrain from intimidating the electorate throughout the electoral process, to ensure that aspiring candidates file their nomination papers on time and avoid submission of documents on the last day, thereby putting pressure on the elections managing body to exercise political maturity and tolerance at all times, to adhere to the electoral code of conduct for political parties, candidates, and other stakeholders, to respect and uphold the fundamental human rights and freedoms of the electorate, then for traditional healers to act in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of the country, to desist from being active members of any political party or in any way participate in partisan politics, to stop furthering the interests of any political party or cause, to refrain from violating fundamental rights and freedoms of the electorate, to treat all persons fairly and equally. Then to affiliate groups, to stop infringing on people's civil and political rights, to be guided by the provisions of the law and conduct and constitution in their conduct and activity. So as you can see here, and I'm going to stop sharing this document. As I said, I'll post it later on. We have a massive problem. The election has been found not free and fair by SADC, the EU, by African Union, by the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. We have a massive problem here. And Chamisa needs to make sure that this is taken up. He mustn't leave this. And I can see that Chamisa has not set up proper structures to fight this issue. This now needs to be taken outside of the SADC process. If SADC is failing to check this up, Chamisa needs to take it up to the international organizations, the United Nations, the international court. He's got rights to do anything because he's basically being told here that if all these things had not been happened, Chamisa would have won the election. Take, for instance, the issue of people not being able to vote in the cities and also voting at night. This is critical because it means that there could have been any sort of irregularities there. And no one knows what happened, who voted, staffing of ballots. There is massive issues here. And Chamisa needs to take advantage of all these reports that are coming. And I would like to obviously commend the guys of the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. The Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission did a very, very good job during the first August shooting, and I covered this in 2018. We need to have more bodies like this. And these guys are right opposite the holiday. When I'm in Zimbabwe, I only see them. And I don't think they're properly funded. I hope that proper international organizations are funding these guys. But I just want to see who is in the commission, just so that I can read for you guys. These guys are doing a great job. And I want to share for you who is in this commission, which is so brave. And they're not partisan at all. And this is what we need. Chigumba, she's very, very scared of the guys, the military. Yeah, you saw what I said when they took over there during the election, that the military basically taken off. So we've got the chairman here, Dr. Elasto Hilarious Gwadi, and deputy chairperson is Dorothy Moyo, and then we've got Dr. Angeline Gwamombe, Beauty Kajese. How did Kajese get here? And then we've got Dr. Cohen Zira, and we've got Brian Penduka. Brian Penduka. Is this guy not a newsreader? So these are the commissioners. And I think besides Beauty Kajese, I hope he's not related to the Kajese who is abducting people. But she's not related to the Kajese who is abducting people. But I think basically these guys are doing a good job. Dr. Elasto Hilarious Gwadi, the report that they produced here, it's totally aligned to what SADC has said. It's totally aligned to what the AU has said. It's totally aligned to what the EU has said. So the election not free and fair according to the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. And this is something that ED has to look at. All these people can't just be talking. He has to understand that these elections are being declared not free and fair. But the ball is in Chamisa's court. He mustn't leave this. Chamisa needs to set up a proper group of people to deal with internationally, to lobby. Because come 2028, we are going to be here again. I'll go onto the websites of all these organizations and look at the 2018 report. It's exactly the same stuff. Elections not free and fair. ZBC not covering Chamisa. Chamisa not allowed to campaign. Intimidation of voters. Chiefs putting people behind the lines. Churches, and like Wapostori, the Marange guys. All this has been recorded before. And Chamisa needs to make sure that he doesn't go into the 2028 election with all this issue. So let's get the support of people, but also we need to act. We need to act. There needs to be action on Chamisa's part. These reports are supporting him, but he can't just sit there and wait for other people to take action. He needs to take action, and it needs to be done now. So Gilbert is saying, Monise, I like our ZHRC, they did a good job. So in Zimbabwe, judiciary is captured. The data for President Chamisa must go to the international court. Yes, I agree. I agree that Chamisa must go to the international court. And I've been talking to the guys in the CCC. There is better ways of doing what they're doing now. They need to stop the fighting. And which brings me to two matters. Tendai Biti was not dismissed by Chamisa. Yesterday it was fake gift ostensive. He's confirmed that Biti was not fired. So the letter that you're seeing circulating is probably by Faz. And then there is Job Scholar. Job Scholar is soon going to be out. We said it last week. Yesterday he was found not guilty. On the Mo Blessing Ali story, he's not guilty and he's going to be out. So the support structure for Nelson Chamisa is going to be there. But Chamisa needs to do better. He now needs to appoint a proper structure. He needs to have a vice president now. I would prefer to have Fazema Harry as the vice president of CCC. That would be extremely amazing if they were to do that. They put Fazema Harry as the vice president and they appoint the other guys as elders or advisors. I do not think that they should have BT there, they should have the Watchman Mube, they should have Scala. Those guys should be sort of like advisors or a committee of elders because we need the fresh thing, we need a fresh way of thinking. But that is my thinking. It's not what Chamisa needs to do. So thank you very much for watching this morning. There is not much news in other newspapers. I've looked at all the newspapers today. There's not much news. It's all the same. The Herald has become just Mugabe, what do you call this? Mnangagwa pressing piece of paper. Everything in the Herald now is about ED. Like every page is about ED. I don't understand what's happening in the Herald. The guys used to do a good job before the election, but they've suddenly become a praise singer once again. So I think I see a comment there that says Mnangagwa must be vice president. I think we need to have a chat about what is the future of the system. I don't think we need to take the structures from the old MDC alliance. Where would I put Mnangagwa? Mnangagwa, I would actually make her an ambassador. I wouldn't even put her in government. So Dr. Tokzani Kupi, Mnangagwa, all the other guys, I'll make them ambassadors. Because the CCC needs people who are strong internationally. So what I would do with these people, I would open an office in every country. So I open an office in Zambia and I put BT there. Then he leads the action in Zambia. I'll put, let's say, Watchman Mube, and I put him in the UK. I make him sit in the office in the UK to coordinate the activities of the CC in the UK. Then in South Africa, I'll take someone and I put them there, one of these top people. So almost as if Chamisa has a leadership in every country. That is what I would do. And then I'll put another office also. But obviously, I don't want to give my ideas to ZANU-PF. They'll probably take this and open a fast office everywhere. You know, ZANU, they can do this. But thank you very much, everybody. And I have to run. I have to go to my gym. Then obviously there's a very, very big issue of General Chiwenga developing. We are going to be, as soon as I have proper information, I'm going to come back and say what I think. ED is not going to complete this term. I can assure you this. ED is not going to finish this term. Something big is going to happen because he's not handling the situation properly. ED is being given a chance to negotiate by Chamisa and he's refusing. So the situation is going to continue to deteriorate inside and outside of ZANU-PF. And what is eventually going to happen is that other opportunists are going to take advantage of the leadership vacuum in Zimbabwe. There is a leadership vacuum because nothing is moving and people are not making money. So watch this space. All these fake videos you're seeing, they're actually created by people in the president's office. When they create a video firing Chiwenga or they create a video firing BT, there are only certain people that have time for that. And these are people around Mnangagwa. And eventually it's going to just boil over and I'll be handling this issue. There are many permutations that can take place. So thank you very much, everybody. I tried my best in the dark. my camera is quite good. If you were in my room, in my house now, I can barely see my hands because of the lack of power. I'm getting load shedding in the morning, 3 hours, in the afternoon, 3 hours, and sometimes in the evening, I even get more 2 hours or so. So it's very, very tricky. But thank you very much, everybody, and I hope that these reports result in a big, big change. And for Nelson Chamisa to take these reports and then use them for something. Thank you very much, everybody.